everybody, welcome into Rock Painting 101. We haven't done an optical illusion style rock in a while, and with the holidays around the corner, I had candy canes on the mind, so I decided we were going to take our op art tubes and turn them into fun candy canes. How cool is this? So if you've missed that tutorial, don't worry, we're gonna walk through it step by step today. If you've seen that tutorial, there's just a couple little tweaks and variations we do to give it the fun candy cane look. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe in the bottom right-hand corner of the video at any time. So for this video, it's a lot of repetitions. So I'm going to be doing a lot of speeding up and then slowing down and talking for a moment and then speeding up. But I will keep a lot of what I'm doing on the video still. But I've done these op art tubes before, but I thought this version of candy canes for the holidays would be really fun. So in case you haven't seen that one, I'm going to break down the basics of lining this up. So you start, give yourself an outline. You're going to fit all of it in. It's kind of like your outer frame. You're just going to start creating these wavy lines from the top to the bottom, and they don't have to go in any specific rhyme or reason except they are waving from top to bottom. And go the other way. All right, just like that. We need to give ourselves a line on this one that goes across now horizontally. You won't see this line when we're finished, but it can wave a little bit, but it just has to go from left to right. Okay, now I'm going to start on each one of these tubes and we're going to create arches. It's going to always go away from this center line. So we'll start on this one here. So we're going to start from point to point and we're going to arch up, and then I'm just going to continue all the way up. Okay, and then we're going to arch down at the opposite side. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing on each and every single one of these, arched away from that center line. And this is the first time now. I'm going to speed this up. All right, once you've got all of your arches on here, we're going to start with the center line just so that we make sure we don't mess up our pattern. I've got 1Ms. These have all been 1Ms, red and white here. And I'm going to start at the top, and I'm just going to go every other center. It's almost like the eyeball shaped circle is going to be red. So I'm going to do red here, and we're going to go over that center line. And red here. All the way to the bottom. And you might need 2 coats of this red going over the black. It just depends. Sometimes on your rock. How well you shake up your pens. Just some colors going over black need a second coat. So then I'm going to fill in the opposite ones here with white. All the way across. They're all different shapes and sizes, which is really fun. And this is a fun thing. You could do this just on a piece of paper too. You don't have to do these designs all on rocks. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go every other, and I'm just going to start with this one here as the example. So I'm going to just do every other section coming away from the center with red all the way to the outside. I'm going to turn it around because I'm right-handed. It's easier to keep the rock on the side where my hand's at. All right, and then we're going to do the opposite ones with, you probably guessed it, white. And we'll do this whole tube here first. So you can see what one looks like all the way done. And then we will speed this up a bit, because these will take a little while to fill in. Just take your time. If you need to step away and take a break, do that instead of rushing. Sometimes if you start rushing, you make more work for yourself in the end by having to touch everything up. So there we go. We've got every other color on one of these tubes. So I'm just going to continue the pattern, every other color away from the center on all of these. All right, so once you've gotten all of your tubes filled in, it already looks pretty cool, but we're not done yet. I've got some water here and just a little square or flat edged brush. It's a number 2 flat brush. And I'm not gonna dunk my brush so that my metal gets wet. Only the very, very tip of my bristles, like that. So anytime you see me putting my brush in, that's what I'm making sure not to do. You don't wanna get water up into this cavity. Then I'm gonna blot, 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 and then go to my rock. So working in small areas a little bit at a time, we're gonna add a little bit of shadowing to this rock. So I'm gonna work on one of these bigger ones because you'll be able to see what I'm doing a bit better. And I'm just gonna come along here and I'm literally going to just draw maybe one section. You see that? And that's gonna be enough. I'm gonna use that for a good amount of area. The black will be very dark at first, but we're gonna move it right along this line. So I'm gonna take the square edge and go just along the line. And we're going to loosen it up just a little bit, like this. And we're going to work along the line all the way up to the top. And if you pull just ever so lightly, do it in the correct arch. So when it's arching down, you want to be pulling it just a little bit down. So any of those leftover streaks are going in the right direction. And just like that, we've got a simple shadow. You see that? And you're gonna pull that both ways on your lines the entire rock. So again, this is something that will take a little bit of time. I will do one more here with you so you can see just a simple little line. We're going just a bit of water, dab, dab, dab. And then I squeeze that just because I like to have a nice sharp line. And then we're going to go right into that and kind of wiggle that spot just to get it loose and get a little bit of that black onto your bristles. And we're going to get it all the way. If you need more, when you get to the top, you can add another little dab of black up here. And again, pull in the direction of those arches. All right, so now I'm going to do this on all of these. So I'm going to speed that up and then I'll show you what it looks like once it's nice and dry as well. All right, I'm working on my last step and that's just relining these. So what we're doing, I start in the center one and you make your shape all the way around and then you work from the center out, outlining each and every one of your shapes one last time, one row at a time, till you get all the way to the outside edge. And I like to make C's, so I always turn my rock. So again, you're kind of doing the edges and the arches as one. This will clean up any messed up edges you might have in your colors. So that's all there is to it. I like to clean up my edge. I'm just going to grab my larger pen though. I'm not going to do it with the tiny pen. But that finishes up our Op Art candy cane tubes. So I think this is really a fun way to kind of play on Christmas rock at the same time as a kind of optical illusion rock. And this nice crisp edge kind of just pulls it all together. So we'll be back soon with another fun tutorial. Don't forget to give this one a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.